Hi there, Susan from SusanWinter.net. So, I'm going to address this conversation in light of the way dating is today, okay? Many of you are involved with somebody. You got something going on. It sort of is a thing, it kind of isn't a thing. Nobody has any titles, there aren't any rules, there are kind of temporary agreements that you're seeing somebody and you're having sex. Okay, that's what's going on. A very nebulous interaction. But you like this person, and you have feelings for them, and you feel warmly toward them, but they are intent upon editing you. I know because I've been there. When I did my research, and I see this more and more in modern day life, people want to edit your emotions because they're uncomfortable having emotions at all in this dynamic. Okay, here's where I have a real issue with that, and you should too. First of all, these are your feelings. This is your experience. You're showing up to play with another person. How you want that to be and how they want it to be may end up to be a very different construct, and you may have to say, nice knowing you, but we're going to go our separate ways. But during the time that you two are sniffing each other out and figuring out how this thing happens, you are going to find that as you start to feel warmly, as you start to engage with this person, you're going to want to express that. And the first thing you're going to feel is the sociological imperative for you to shut up. I know as women especially, we have been taught through our peer groups to do this. Women are exceedingly afraid to show any warmth or affection to a guy, because they're so worried that they have been told by their peer group that if they show too much attention and kindness and warmth, that he will think they're crazy or insecure or needy, and he'll run like hell. Okay, that's what they hear. There's another thing where maybe guys want to show her that they like her, but they are guided by their guy buddies to never reveal that because you're going to look weak and needy. So whether it's that both camps are doing some ill advising, or it is the combination of that plus the terrain in which we are now functioning, hooking up first, talking later, this very precarious time period that we live in with vague interactions that are intimate and yet disconnected. My great concern is that for your partner's convenience, they will choose to edit your emotions. This is not allowed. No one should ever edit your experience. You are a human being who is showing up to have the experience you want. And if it's going to be rewarding, the only way it's rewarding is if you have some connection to it. Otherwise, it's just walking through the motions, and you know exactly what I'm saying. Because you know there are those certain people that somehow their vibe, the way they are, who they are, what they bring out of you creates something in you that's a dynamic that's different, and it's exciting. And it's a life force, and you like being there, and you can't help but be excited. And then you discover, oh, this is uncomfortable. I can't say this. I shouldn't do this. Why? What? Who? What? Why do we tell them? Why do we shut each other up? Why do we continue to tell our peer group, no, don't feel. Don't feel, look cool, pull back, retract, ooh, you might get hurt. It's like a paranoid society of a bunch of children that aren't learning how to manage their own emotions. So the fact that your partner is uncomfortable with feelings, I'm sorry, you're not in charge of what I'm going to feel. And you should really know that that is your inherent right. I remember saying to somebody more than once, I had my intro speeches, I had all my speeches, every segment along the line, because I started to know these are patterns. I'm going to go through the same pattern all the time. I'm going to get the same kind of resistance. And I remember saying, I'm here to experience the greatest connection I can experience with you. I want to feel everything. That's my goal. Why be here otherwise? You don't have to mirror me. I'd love it if you do, but for God's sake, don't edit me just because you don't want to feel. Now, that takes ownership of your emotions. What you're basically telling your partner in whatever language you want to convey this, verbal or not, I'm here to show up completely with my emotions, to participate with you. It's not your business to edit. to limit or to confine my experience to the comfort levels that you want, which is like nothing. I'm not crazy. I'm not going to slash your wardrobe. I'm not going to slash your tires. I'm not going to write you up poorly on Facebook. I'm not crazy. I just want to feel. And I would prefer that you don't edit me. Now, there's something magical that happens. You see, it only takes one person to shift the entire temperature of a connection. One person can alter, it's like a tipping factor. One person opening up and being free to feel allows the other person who has been constricted either by their social group or by what they think is the way to handle modern dating or by their own fears. It allows that person to open up and feel. Again, we open the door, we never drag them through it. But our opening the door to our own emotions creates the possibility that that other person who would otherwise repress you and repress themselves can now come and show up more fully. And that's the trick. You see, this is the big secret that nobody's getting. Everybody wants to be out there and they're guarding and protecting. You don't get love that way. You don't even get meaning. You don't even get satisfaction for showing up. You get nothing because you're paralyzed. When you open up and you start to take ownership of your own emotions, and yes, chances are you'll get some boo-boos. Chances are that you will feel some pain. Part of the game. It's not that we ignore it, it's that we learn to work through it and be resilient. And the more we have mastery over our own emotions and standing up for ourselves and taking charge of, I'm going to feel this. I'm not here to be numb. I'm here to feel what it's like to be in this delicious relationship. And I've chosen you to do this with, so deal with it. It's that kind of interior attitude. And then there's something so magical, and you have to live this experience. I can describe it to you, but I'll never be able to describe it to you the way you will experience it. It can be this aha moment that forever transforms how you conceive of dating and relationships. When you finally show up in your own sovereignty and your own strength, and you're there. And this person, they'll be terrified. But they'll be excited, and they'll be curious, and they'll be incentivized. Because you know what? You're having a lot of fun, and it's kind of exciting to watch. And it's certainly exciting to participate with. So let's reframe how we look at relationships, and rather than tiptoeing carefully and guarding ourselves, let us take an attitude of bravery and boldness. For God's sake, you're there, then be there, right? And enjoy yourself. And remember, one person can alter the dynamic of that relationship. It is incredible, and I ask that if you have the mindset to do so, go and test it. Go and test it. Test it to the degree that you are comfortable, okay? And you will find there is magic at the end of this. It is amazing what you can create out of the apparent label of nothing. Okay? Susan Winter for SusanWinter.net. Please, if you like the channel, subscribe, tell your friends. If you'd like to work with me privately, I encourage you to come to my website, SusanWinter.net. We can do some wonderful things together. Thank you so much.